Hello, this is Program Committee from Key Club. We're going to meet VP David. Let's go!
So, hi, Mr. David.
Hi.
My name is Melanie, and we're from the Key Club Program Committee. So, we would like to interview about your life stories and personal stories and giving messages to us. And we will show this to our Key Club members, and we'll educate them with this educated video.
Okay.
So, our first question is, what do you think is the position of a teacher?
I think a teacher is an educator. So not just someone who's in front giving information, but someone who walks with the students, not only teaches them, but guides them, right? And helps them to, take the next step. You don't have to learn and be an A student, but as long as you're growing and developing, I think that's what a teacher is, an educator. Yeah.
So next, as you know, you were a teenager like ourselves. So was there like a hardship when you were a teenager like ourselves, like experience?
Yeah, of course. I think when I was a teenager, right around your age, 10th grade, I was very focused on like my looks, because I was never confident of how I looked. So for me, that was a big part. Like I didn't know if I was tall enough, if I was strong enough, if I was handsome enough. At the same time, if I was smart enough. So I think as a teenager, it was always trying to prove myself to other people instead of just accepting who I was for what I am. I was always trying to look better or be something more than I was, or I doubted what I was, and I tried to hide behind certain images. So I think as a teenager, for me personally, that was something I remember, struggling with.
I bet all of us might relate,
maybe.
like teenagers. So was there a thing that you regret doing it as a teenager?
There are a lot of things I regret doing as a teenager, but I think as a teenager, there's some things that I made bad choices on. Instead of being a good student or just being a student, I was focused on doing things that were not so good. I got in trouble, I did bad things, because in America, growing up as an Asian student was very hard because I faced a lot of discrimination, racism, so I needed to protect myself. And as Asians, we kind of protected each other. So if something I do regret is I should have just, like I said earlier, accepted the situation, and not chose to do bad things, because I purposely chose to do certain things that I shouldn't have. And maybe I should have focused more on studying and being a better student. I know my grades were good, I got good scores, but if I knew then what I know now, maybe I would have done a little better, gone to a better school and things like that.
True. Oh, and also how did you get through those times? And maybe you wanted to stop doing it. How did you solve that problem?
Well, for me, a lot of the students know my story, but during that time, I had a really bad relationship with my dad. I didn't like him because there's just certain things that he did. So how I was able to overcome is, my dad had done something that really hurt our family, and I was still making mistakes. And then I saw my mom, she had my dad who messed up, me who's messing up, but she still worked so hard. So I remember she told me, David, I trust you, and I know you're gonna do your best and you're gonna try your best, and regardless, I support you. So I think seeing my mom and how much she worked and her faith, she always told us, God is there with you, pray, He's protecting you, so be faithful. I think just seeing my mom really helped me to kind of turn around around 11th grade and just do a little bit better instead of focusing on the things that I did before.
Was like being a teacher, like you going all those things, maybe the reason why you wanted to be a teacher?
Yeah, I think so. Initially, I wanted to be in business. And I was in business. I made a lot of money. But eventually, I felt called to be a pastor. And a pastor is not, I think, just someone who, gives sermons and does Bible studies. But a pastor is a teacher, right? And we are people who are always reminding people, and like I said earlier, walking with people, guiding people as an educator, what it means to be faithful. So after college and after I worked for a few years, and when I felt like God wanted me to be a pastor, I felt that teaching is what I needed to do, to guide people, to help people, and to, not set an example because I'm not the best example, but kind of guide people and lead them in a way that, has respect in their life and understands there's meaning. So yes, I think teaching was something I've always enjoyed.
And maybe that's the reason why, like, how you ended up teaching in Facein, right?
Yeah, of course, because Facein is a Christian school. And I came as the head chaplain to teach Bible, but I think everything that I got trained before added to me being here. So I think that's why I'm here currently, because God wants me to be here, I hope.
There are like hardships for us students also, but also for the teachers, right? Is there like a way to overcome those hardships? Maybe your personal experience when we confront them, like for the teachers?
For teachers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think teachers, as much as students are stressed, we get stressed too, because we want to make sure you're doing well, right? And we want to make sure that you're being guided and taught, and but in teaching and dealing with students and making sure everyone's doing well, there is stress. There's a lot of stress, but I think for us as educators, for me personally, how I deal with stress is, when I'm at school, I try my best, and if I have to go home and work, I do my best. But when I rest, I rest. So I don't play games like you guys, or I don't listen to too much music or watch too much TV or anything like that. But I do like to rest and eat good food. I like cooking, so I cook, and I like to make things. So I make things and paint and things like that. So not just me, but other teachers too. I think we all have hobbies, and we kind of remember to use that time for that.
Oh, that's very interesting. Well, we're grateful that you came to Facein, and so from now on, we would like to get some advice for high schoolers who are having doubt of their future jobs, or I don't know, college problems. And so for students who have doubts in their future, finding jobs or universities, how would you send a message to them?
I think for all the students right now, all you need to do is just try your best right now. Yes, it's good to set goals and to have plans and to have desire to reach a certain level as far as job or university, but I think if you just try your best now, then in the future you'll go where you want to be, or you'll go where you plan to be, or you'll go what your goal is. There's 2 regrets in life, right? I think I told some people this, but the first regret is regretting of not doing something, and the second regret is regretting doing something. So it's 2 regrets, but the one that stays with you the longest is the regret of not trying, right? So for the students now, I know it could be stressful, I know it could be hard, but for those that are questioning about the future, college, can I go there, can I get this job, I'm not sure, it's okay. Just try your best now. Because later on, when you look back, then you're not going to say, oh, I should have tried harder. You already tried your best. So whatever the outcome, it's okay. Right? So whatever direction you go, it's okay, because that's where you've prepared and gone to. So really, I know that sounds very cliche or very normal, like every other adult says, but just try your best now, because that all adds up, and then you'll reach the goal that you want to go. I think.
That's a really good advice for us teenagers. Yeah. So when you were like going through those times, like hard times as students, was there any vocation that you had, or still like you might still have vocation that you keep on thinking until now?
When I was younger, I think I wanted to, be like a professor, or like a principal or president of a university. But before I came to Facein, I was a professor, and I was the dean of a school, and but right now I think my real dream that I have is, after I retire, to just kind of go all over the world and just serve God. I think a lot of the 10th grade students right now, they know, but I have this promise that I made with God, is to help and build either 100 churches, hospitals, schools, orphanage, or NGO organizations. And up to now, God has used me to make around 40 of those, and I only have 60 more to go. My goal is 100. So helping 40 different organizations so far. I just have 60 more. So my dream is to just continuously, I think, do what God wants me to do. So either be a missionary or keep doing His work however way He wants. So, yeah.
So that would be like really, well, you have done very numerous of like really life-giving like chances. So like the 11th and 12th and some of the 10th like have just taken SAT exams.
Yes.
Last week. And so is there like any final words that you want to send to them?
Yeah, your scores are going to come out soon, but don't worry. If you didn't do well, it's okay. You can take it next month. And SAT is a stressful time, I know. But again, same thing. SAT is just as much as you're prepared, you're going to get that score. So I'm not saying study more, and you have to get 1,600. If your best ability is 1,300, that's good, right? If your best ability is 14, great. If your best ability is 1,200, okay, this is great, no problem. So don't be stressed about it. It's just one score. Yes, it's important to get the best score that you can, but just because your friend got 1,500 and you got 1,300 doesn't mean you're less, right? It just means that you get a 1,300, and within the 1,300, you can still go to the schools that you want, right? It's not just a score. And one thing I guess I want to remind everyone is, it's not about numbers. Life is not about numbers. It's not about getting the best score, reaching the highest ranking schools, getting the most paying job. It's not numbers, but it's being happy and knowing that in that joy that God is leading you. So yes, SAT is stressful. I know everyone studied hard for it and your scores are coming out. Don't worry. There's always a next opportunity, and whatever score you get, it's okay. I don't think you need to stress too much.
Well, that was our last question.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. David, for your time. And I hope like all your advices will help to our high schoolers, and we're happy that we got to hear about your life story.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
This was Editor Harry.
This was Cameraman Jake.
Interviewer Melanie.
Thank you and goodbye.